Welcome guys. So today's video will be all about green stuff. So let us begin. Number 1. What is green stuff? Green stuff is a putty that comes in two parts. One blue, one yellow. They're kept separate, but when mixed together in equal parts, of the yellow, which is the filler, and the blue, which is the hardener. And when they're mixed together, they form this sticky green putty. That's why it's called green stuff. Now, green stuff is used primarily in doing miniature sculptures and often is used in the Warhammer community to create some very amazing stuff. You can of course use it also to patch up little cracks such as in little builds, car models and things of that nature, or add a little more detail of what you would like. You can also use it to put together broken pieces, such as let's say you had a sculpture that had its hand broken off. You can kind of remodel, rebuild it and bring it back to life. Now for me, I in particular like to use it to create more detail, clothing, and hair in my custom builds, particularly done in the Call of Duty Mega Construx Mega Blocks figure system. So, how exactly does green stuff work? So green stuff has a consistency and property of something that resembles sticky chewed bubble gum, where it's both flexible and moldable, but also very sticky. And in this state, you get about an hour and a half, maybe to 2 hours to work, mold, and form any shape you like until it hardens up. So you have to make sure you have enough as needed. You can always add more on later. The big thing you don't want to do is take more than you need. It's kind of when you bite off more than you can chew, because if you mix more than you needed, the rest will harden and become useless, and then you're stuck with a lot of extra green stuff that has no need anymore. It's just a solid rock, and you could have used it for other things. And since green stuff tends to be expensive, for something small as this, maybe around $15 to $20, you really don't want to mess around and put things to waste. So take as much as you need, work with it, add more on later. It's better and it saves you money in the long run. Now, as far as the curing process, and for it to fully harden will take about 24 hours. So, rule of thumb is give it about a day to achieve its full hardness. Now, some important notes before we begin. One is, of course, as I mentioned, green stuff is very sticky and can be difficult to work with. So having a bit of lubricant such as water or baby oil, dip your tools and fingers in will help make the process a lot easier. However, personally, with using oil, it can prevent the green stuff from sticking to itself. So it's trial and error, where if you don't put enough, it's still going to be sticky. And if you put a lot, it's not going to stick to anything else. So you kind of want to find that ratio in between. But this is also another reason why I just prefer to use plain old water. It's similar to clay or how when you do things in ceramics, where you just add a little bit as you work around to keep your fingers moist and your tools moist. So now let's take a look and open this up. So this is what green stuff usually looks like. It's a little sticky, and yes, you also do not want these two to mix prematurely. So we're of course not going to use the whole thing, we're going to just cut off a very small piece to begin with. So I'm going to fold the rest back and just take as much as I need. Like I said, very small piece because what I'm doing is mainly a beard and head mold, or hair mold. So I'm just gonna take this much. Okay. And the rest I'll save for another time. So put the rest back. And save it when it's needed. So upon the first time using it, it's very sticky. It's like gum. Or if you ever had taffy, like the candy chewed up, that's what it feels like. So you're gonna basically mold the two together. You pull, you roll it, and then you twist. Such as that. Put it together. Twist it up, until the yellow and the blue form a nice green sticky. Now, as I'm doing this, it's getting very sticky and hard to work with. So, you just dip your fingers in just a little bit. And you keep the process going. So basically, you're rolling it up into a tube, and pulling it, twisting, rolling until you get a very nice consistent green color. So that should about do it. So you roll it into a little bowl, now you can begin working. So what I had was the little stand I use, and that's what I'm going to use for the head mold. So here's a knockoff head mold that I'm going to use as my head of choice. So what I'm going to begin with is giving him a beard. So you just cut off a little piece, once again, dip your fingers in, and you're just going to apply it right onto here. You grab your scalpel and you're going to form around, kind of mold a beard shape. It's a little harder to work with when you have a camera, but you can get it to work with. Now of course add a little more, and add the little mustache. Give the beard a nice little texture. Alright, and that's how the beard now starting to look like. Now since I don't have the top of the head, I'm gonna mold it from the green stuff. Just put it right on top. Now for this, I'm gonna try to make the little bandana. And then lastly, I'm gonna add the little dreads. There we go. Alright. Now so things don't go to waste, we're going to use the remainder of the green stuff to make another hair mold. So remember the Santa Claus from the previous where I showed you how to use sticky putty? Well, just remove that and now we're going to use it to make another hair mold. So what I'm going to do is use a bandana for this one. There we go. That's what we got with the green stuff. Now what I will do is let this cure for about a day, maybe 2, and then I'll go back and start repainting and making some new cool customs. So if you want to see how these finally turn out, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed the content, give it a like, and I'll see you guys in the next video.